What if everything you thought about your retirement account was only half the truth? Most retirees never hear the full story because the system doesn't want them to. Hidden penalties, surprise taxes, and false promises quietly drain away the savings you've worked for all your life. Stay with me, because in this video we'll uncover 5 shocking truths about XRP and IRA that every retiree must know before it's too late. Part 1. The first shocking truth about an XRP and IRA is that early withdrawals can destroy decades of savings. Most retirees assume that because it's their money, they can tap it whenever they need. But retirement accounts come with strict rules, and breaking them invites painful penalties. Take Robert, who pulled money from his account at 59 to cover unexpected expenses. He thought it was just a temporary solution. Instead, he was hit with a 10% penalty, higher taxes, and the loss of compound growth he could never get back. What felt like a quick fix became a wound that bled for years. The system doesn't advertise this clearly. The brochures highlight flexibility, but they don't emphasize the punishment for impatience. And that's why so many people walk straight into this trap, believing they're safe when they're not. The truth is simple. Retirement security isn't just about how much you save. It's about when you use it. Early withdrawals don't only shrink your balance, they shrink your future. Awareness of this rule is the difference between keeping your freedom and watching it slip away. Part 2. The second shocking truth about an XRP and IRA is how hidden taxes quietly drain your withdrawals. Many retirees believe their tax burden will shrink once they stop working. But the reality is often harsher. Distributions from retirement accounts can push them into higher brackets, leaving them with far less than expected. Consider Ellen, who thought she had planned everything. She calculated her monthly needs carefully, only to discover that nearly 1/3 of every withdrawal went to taxes. Vacations disappeared. Medical bills became heavier. The retirement she imagined suddenly felt fragile. This trap is cruel because it's silent. No one warns you that combining Social Security with retirement withdrawals can change your tax bracket overnight. No one tells you how required distributions can create bills you never anticipated. The truth is, ignoring taxes doesn't make them go away. It makes them worse. Retirement freedom isn't just about building savings. It's about protecting them from erosion. Awareness of tax rules is the shield that keeps your money working for you instead of vanishing into government coffers. Part 3. The third shocking truth about an XRP in IRA is the myth of diversification. Advisors often assure retirees that by holding a mix of mutual funds or stocks, they are safe. But in reality, most of those assets move in the same direction. When the market falls, everything falls together. Take Martin, who entered retirement with what he believed was a diversified portfolio. His advisor showed him colorful pie charts with slices labeled stocks, bonds, and funds. But when the 2008 crash hit, all those slices collapsed at the same time. His diversification was nothing more than different labels on the same risk. True diversification means stepping outside the Wall Street box. A crypto IRA with XRP doesn't replace traditional assets, but it adds a layer that behaves differently when markets shake. That difference can mean the survival of your savings when others collapse. The system doesn't emphasize this because it thrives on keeping you inside their circle. The truth is, diversification isn't about appearances, it's about resilience. And resilience comes from balance that survives the storm, not just looks good on a chart. Part 4. The fourth shocking truth is Wall Street's silence on alternatives. For decades, retirees have been told the only safe path is through their products: mutual funds, managed accounts, and bonds that keep money flowing into their system. What's rarely mentioned is that alternatives exist, and some of them provide protection Wall Street won't profit from. Consider Janet, who asked her advisor about options beyond the firm's standard menu. The response was vague, even dismissive. That's too risky. What her advisor never admitted was that every dollar she moved outside their products meant fewer fees for the firm. Her ignorance wasn't about safety, it was about revenue. This silence is not accidental. It's designed. Wall Street thrives when you believe their way is the only way. But real security comes from choice, and alternatives like a crypto IRA with XRP expand those choices. The truth is, knowledge isn't dangerous. Dependence is. Wall Street avoids this conversation because once retirees see the full picture, they no longer need to play by the old rules. And that's a truth worth uncovering. Part 5. The fifth shocking truth is this: control equals freedom. For too long, retirees have been trained to hand over control, trusting advisors, following generic plans, and hoping someone else will protect their future. But every layer of dependence means less freedom for you and more profit for them. Take David, who once believed every move had to go through his brokerage firm. Each decision meant forms, approvals, and waiting. He felt like a passenger in his own retirement. When he shifted part of his savings into a structure he could guide, where he chose when to adjust and when to withdraw, the difference was immediate. He didn't just see numbers grow, he felt ownership. Wall Street avoids this truth because independence weakens their grip. They profit when you stay dependent. But retirement was never meant to be lived under someone else's control. The truth is clear. Freedom doesn't come from bigger balances alone. It comes from knowing you have the power to decide. And in retirement, that power is everything. Part 6. Let's bring it all together. We uncovered 5 shocking truths retirees rarely hear. Early withdrawals punish you. Penalties and lost compounding turn quick fixes into long scars. Hidden taxes drain withdrawals. Brackets shift, rules bite, and checks shrink without warning. False diversification. Different labels, same risk. When markets fall, the pie chart falls together. Wall Street's silence: alternatives exist, but dependence pays their fees, not your freedom. Control equals freedom. The power to choose contributions, adjustments, and withdrawals changes everything. These are not theories. They're the levers that decide whether retirement feels small and fragile or calm and resilient. Some people will hear them and nod, then go back to the same plan, hoping for a different outcome. Others will act, learn the rules, diversify beyond the old box, and build a tax-aware, controllable strategy that survives storms. So here's the question only you can answer. Will you keep playing by the rules that kept you in the dark, or will you use these truths to protect the life you've earned? Your future won't be shaped by slogans or promises. It will be shaped by the choices you make after hearing this today. Part 7. Knowing the truths is powerful, but acting on them is where freedom begins. Here's a simple, battle-tested framework you can start using today. Step 1. Audit and avoid. List every account, age-based rule, and penalty trigger. Note earliest withdrawal ages, exceptions, and any fees that apply. One page, one glance. No surprises. This turns truth number 1, penalties, from a guess into a guardrail. Step 2. Balance for resilience. Map what percentage of your savings lives inside the Wall Street box and what lives outside it. Aim for layers that don't move in lockstep, so one headline can't decide your future. That's truth number 3 in action: real diversification. Step 3. Build a tax map. Project withdrawals across the next 5 to 10 years. How much per year, from which accounts, and what bracket that creates when combined with Social Security or other income. Adjust amounts before you cross a threshold. That's truth number 2, hidden taxes, neutralized. Step 4. Choose control points. Decide what you will control directly: contribution cadence, rebalancing rules, and withdrawal windows. Write the rules you'll follow when markets panic, then follow them. That's truth number 5. Control equals freedom. Step 5. Verify the silence. When advice says, just stay the course, ask, whose course? Request alternatives in writing. If none appear, you've just witnessed truth number 4. Then choose the path that serves you. Knowledge opens the door. This plan walks you through it. Part 8. Meet Carol, 58, a project manager from North Carolina. For years, she felt on track until a surprise tax bill and a dip in markets rattled her confidence. Instead of freezing, she put the 5 truths to work. First, she ran an audit and avoid, listed every account, age rule, penalty trigger, and exceptions on a single page. The blind spots were obvious. No more accidental early withdrawals. Next, she balanced for resilience, trimmed overexposure to the same market cycle, and added a layer that didn't move in lockstep, so one headline couldn't decide her future. Then she built a tax map, projected withdrawals over 10 years, tested brackets with Social Security, and adjusted amounts to stay below painful thresholds. She defined control points, when to rebalance, when to pause contributions, and what to do in a panic, written rules she could follow when emotions ran hot. Finally, she verified the silence, asked her advisor for written alternatives. When none arrived, she sought second opinions and chose the path that served her plan, not someone else's fees. 6 months later, nothing magical happened, just calm. Volatility still came, but it no longer owned her. Her checks felt predictable, her taxes predictable, and her sleep peaceful. Carol didn't chase a miracle. She built one, out of clarity, balance, and control. Part 9. Picture 2 neighbors, both 65, both retired this year. James stayed on the path Wall Street drew for him. His portfolio looked diversified on paper, but when markets dipped, everything fell together. When he asked about alternatives, he heard the same old line, stay the course. His withdrawals pushed him into higher tax brackets, and each check felt smaller than promised. James thought retirement meant peace, but instead, it feels like constant worry. Across the street, Maria made different choices. She learned the 5 shocking truths early, built her own tax map, diversified beyond the box, and set clear control points. When the same market swings came, her savings bent but didn't break. She knew when to withdraw, how much she'd keep after taxes, and never had to beg for permission to use her own money. The contrast is striking. James lives in a retirement defined by dependence and regret. Maria lives in a retirement defined by clarity and control. Both worked equally hard. Both saved. But one stayed blind, while the other chose awareness. The message is clear. The difference between fear and freedom isn't luck. It's knowledge, applied with courage. Part 10. Retirement isn't broken because people don't work hard enough. It's broken because they're kept in the dark. 5 shocking truths hide in plain sight. Penalties for early withdrawals, hidden taxes that shrink checks, fake diversification that collapses under stress, Wall Street's silence on alternatives, and the simple reality that control equals freedom. These truths are not theories. They are levers, tools that can either trap you or free you. Ignore them, and you give away decades of effort to penalties, taxes, and dependence. Embrace them, and you reclaim ownership of the life you've built. Some will hear these truths and look away, hoping the system will somehow fix itself. Others will act, study the rules, diversify wisely, map out taxes, demand real options, and take control. The future isn't written by chance. It's written by the choices you make today. Will you carry fear into retirement, or will you carry freedom? The answer isn't hidden. It's in your hands, right now. If these 5 shocking truths opened your eyes, don't let the knowledge end here. Hit the like button so YouTube knows this message matters. Leave a comment with your story or questions. Your voice could help another retiree avoid the same traps. Share this video with friends and family who deserve to protect their savings before it's too late. And most importantly, subscribe to XRP Today, USA for daily insights that reveal what Wall Street won't say, so you can face retirement with clarity and confidence. Your support does more than grow this channel. It builds a community of people who refuse to live in fear. Together, we can turn hidden truths into lasting freedom.